Imagine, if you will, a Die Hard ripoff. I know. No one's ever ripped off Die Hard much. But this time, imagine a Die Hard ripoff where Bruce Willis is Hans Gruber. Now, imagine Bruce Willis in the Hans Gruber role in the Die Hard ripoff, only, unlike Alan Rickman, he's shit. Deadlock. Here we are, the latest Bruce Willis movie. It is written and directed by Jared Cohn. Or Cohen? It's C-O-H-N. Con? I don't know. I feel like I got conned. And also co-written by Cam Cannon. It is produced by Corey Large, the guy behind Apex and Cosmic Sin. So, you know what you're kind of getting into right here. It stars Bruce Willis. Alright, it stars Patrick Muldoon. And sometimes it stars Bruce Willis. What's the plot? Well, I've just told you. There's going to be spoilers in my review, by the way. I tend to be a bit more in-depth and a bit ranty with these Bruce Willis movies. I don't know. I feel like since I went to the trouble of watching it, and I do say trouble because I needed breaks, this took hours, it is really bad, and it was doing my ADHD, and so I had to have breaks and watch this in chunks over 5 hours. That's just how I had to roll. And also because of the ADHD, any distraction I had, I was just like, I'll see to that now. Oh, thank goodness for that. By the way, I'm watching this when a mate of mine tells me, by the way, there's a new Bruce Willis movie coming out. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm still watching Deadlock. Where was I? Oh yeah, this is a Die Hard ripoff in a hydroelectric dam. So I'm watching this movie and it starts, I shit you not, in a meth house, and this one meth head is yelling at the two other meth heads about clown prison. And I'm like, what is this dialogue, clown prison? The dialogue is so up to date and modern that, oh, right, clown prison, fine. But when you've also got dialogue that involves grown masked men in the 21st century referring to themselves as sissies and butt buddies, I don't know. It feels a little weird. But anyway, clown prison. I'm just like, wait, you're talking about clown prison? Your mum's in clown prison? Is this prison for clowns? Like, what are you doing? What is the start of this movie? Movie starts with a botched police raid where they raid the wrong house, but the people they raid also have guns and start using them. So like, well, fucking wrong house, but they're going to shoot you cops anyway. The cops don't announce themselves. It's so stupid. And then it cuts to this hydroelectric dam and it sets all this hydroelectric dam stuff. By the way, have you ever seen a hydroelectric dam with like a adjoining junkyard? Like, why is there a junkyard right next to this hydroelectric dam? Anyway, now that we've done that botched police stuff, we go into meeting Patrick Muldoon's character, Mac. I actually like Patrick Muldoon in this. He's fine. Like, he realized he's making a cheesy B-grade movie and he decides to have some fun with it. That's the impression I got from Patrick Muldoon. Bruce Willis was like this the whole time. Motherfuckers killed my son. I hate cops. By the way, you want to do a Die Hard with a twist? Like, the Hydra, Bruce Willis decides because the cops imprisoned one of his sons and killed another one, he's going to die hard this hydroelectric dam. And then once he's die harded that, he's going to flood the town to teach everyone a lesson or something, or get his revenge. And then what he does is he gets on the blower and he goes, "Oi, cop, don't tell anyone, but you got to come over here." And then that cop does. Boom, dead. All right. Oh, other cop? Yeah, you got to come down here. Don't tell anyone. Okay, cool. Boom, dead. I'm just like, why didn't you just do a Die Hard in the cop shop or something? I don't know. Or just to get your revenge somehow. But no, he's got to do it this way. Die Hard in the hydroelectric dam. Or Nakatomi-ing it. Whatever. So Patrick Muldoon, we find out very quickly, is an ex-ranger or something like that. I'm like, okay, unlike Bruce Willis in Die Hard, who's just like normal everyday cop dude. This guy's got ex-military training or whatever. All right, cool. But he's got a big hangover, you know, like Bruce Willis in Die Hard 3. Now he's got to save the day. Look, it turns out like he's got a ranger buddy that's helping Bruce Willis, and he gave Patrick Muldoon Mac warnings not to turn up to work. He even got him blotto the night before, so maybe he wouldn't turn up, but he does turn up. Because, motherfucker, you might be hungover and you gotta get paid. You gotta go to work. And I'm thinking like, all right, so you warned off Mac, because he's your buddy. You don't warn off the pregnant woman. Okay. You don't warn off the school kids, because the school goes to here for an excursion. I'm thinking like, if you're planning this and you've got people on the inside, maybe you should go, yeah, look, we'll do the excursion the next day. We've had some shit come up here. I don't know. This just felt really weird. So Bruce Willis is in this damn, and for the rest of the movie, every time you see him, he's in this one room. And that's when it kind of struck me that this guy is fucking Cameron Mitchell of the modern era. Just, you know, not as fun. And I'm starting to think like, when's Bruce Willis going to realize that just like Cameron Mitchell, he can start filming these weekend movies in his home? I bet you there will be a time where Bruce Willis is like, oh, no, I can't be fucked doing that for this weekend. Look, why don't you just film all this shit in my house? There you go. Look at this, all this stuff. Bet you that'll happen in one time. Now, Bruce Willis's character will also not only have one dead son and one in prison, he also has, drumroll, a dead wife. No kidding. Because in all these movies, his wife is either dead or going to die. So this one, she's dead. So yeah, one day he's going to realise that he can just Cameron Mitchell this shit in his house. I'm waiting for it. Look, there's even little things. This movie apparently had a $10 million budget. Where did it go? Because the blood and some of the bullet impacts, you see damage sometimes, and little ricochets and sparks and stuff, but almost all of it feels like really bad CGI. Like someone shoots a windscreen at the start and it didn't look like there were holes in the glass, but it looked like, you know, like CGI version. Some of the blood splatters and things when people get shot look fake and CGI as hell. And I shit you not. All right, spoiler alert, Bruce Willis is the bad guy. Of course, he's going to die, right? So, you know, when he dies, he slumps back like this. Right, like this. Hand out like this. And he's like, oh, and there's blood pouring down his arm. The blood pouring down his arm is fake. Ketchup would have been more realistic than this. What are you doing? 10 million. How much did Bruce Willis get for this? Man, it's... So there's no real budget for bullet damage, like, or actual blood effects, or like blood packs that expensive. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're expensive or not. But hell, it would have been even more realistic to do it in 50 style. Someone gets shot and they're like, ah! There's a scene where Mac and this other guy, this security guard dude, are running around shooting bad guys, and there's a sniper that's behind him. He's got a fucking clear shot. I got a creaky chair, by the way. He's got a clear shot. He takes 3 shots. They're not like hundreds of meters away. It's just like point blank down. Just shoot him. Boom. You got a scope and everything. 2 targets, 3 shots. Misses every time. And then Mac goes up. What the crappest sniper in the world. Also, Bruce Willis's plan is to flood the town. When you start doing that kind of stuff, regardless of whether the cops at this point know about, or the NSA or whatever know about everything that's going on, regardless of that, the town starts flooding. Shit, the town's flooding. Oi, hydrology dams, everything all right there, mate? I don't understand anything there until they manage to get the school kids out on a school bus, and then they tell the cops and stuff. This movie is pretty weird. It's not good. I had to stop taking notes because this was just starting to hurt my brain. And it was just horrifically bad and awful. Dialogue's not that good. Bruce Willis turns in what must... I've said this a few times now. Bruce Willis turns in what must be one of the worst performances I've ever seen him do. In fact, I think this is one of the worst crappy Bruce Willis movies I've watched to date. One of the most brutal in terms of just sheer badness and nonsensicalness. It's only like an hour and a half, but as I said, it took me hours to finish this because I just didn't like it. I kept like ding my phone. Oh, thank God. Or I just get distracted. I'm like anything to distract me. So not good. Why do I watch these then? Well, I guess this is why. I get to kind of like vent in a way I don't usually do. If the movie's just average or kind of boring, it doesn't usually give me enough to latch onto. But the shitty Bruce Willis movie, man, it's a cathartic experience to make these. And I'm happy so many people get to make movies and stuff, even though they're bad and shitty and all that kind of stuff. You don't need Bruce Willis, by the way, guys. You don't need him. Instead of a Bruce Willis, get 2 Patrick Muldoons or equivalents. Because then they'll both freaking give a damn or know it's a cheesy bit of fun time and actually do something with it. Whereas Bruce Willis, whole time, dude, one of your sons is dead and the other's in jail. Bruce? I hate cops. Some of them. I'm giving this one a 0 out of 10. Big time 0. Don't watch this. Unless you're into these kind of bad Bruce Willis movies. Part of me is kind of into them because I like seeing the similarities in them, because for some reason they all have similarities. They don't try to do things that are too different or mix it up too much. Like, just one of these movies, just make Bruce Willis a lifetime bachelor. Make him gay. Make him something. Do something with him. He's just in a room the whole... Yeah, I don't want to talk about this movie anymore.